So before I put this all back together with the body back on, I was asked about this plug that came off. And now I put the wires all back in. There is really not a lot of room. As soon as you pull it slightly, you're going to be pulling against all these plugs, and no wonder it came off. I obviously thought there was a bit more movement that you could do. This is about it, as far as we can go before it all stretches. It stretches it too far. But anyway, the plug came off. What was I going to do about it? Well, here it is, and I'm unable at this time to fix my camera in position and give you a tutorial. So I've really been thinking a lot of how I can show you the best I can. So forgive me for it being a bit amateur, but you know, with this YouTube channel, I just decided I've just got to start doing some videos. So it's what it is. But the plug went here, but if you trace it back, you find that the connections are here. There is and these have got good big blobs of solder on them. So it's not bad at all to solder. There is a red, a black and a grey. And Bachmann keep using the same wires all over again. So there's another grey that side. The black and the red that side go here, and this is the pickups. So you've got 4 wires. Because if you follow this grey through here, it goes here and then into that junction, connection, whatever you want to call it there. You trace the other 3 and they go straight down to these. I have wired it all up, all tested it, so it all works perfectly. So just to reiterate, black, said that again, haven't I? Red, black, grey and grey that side. So I'll make a note on my pad down here. Red, black, grey on one side and grey on the other side. Back here, pull them up. These are the wires. Let's just pull a couple out. Yeah, there we go. There are 4 of these wires which go into the plug. Obviously it was a socket that broke off. I just pulled them out. 4 colours. Here you can see the orange and the yellow one. And then I'll put in an extra wire here to solder it in, and make a note of this colour that I'm using. Solder in. So here I made a note that the yellow goes to red terminal, orange goes to black, red goes to grey, brown goes to grey the other side. And you could wire them up directly, but you then got no room. So I'll put an extra piece of wire in about, what's that, about 2 inches, maybe less, 1.5 inches long on these 4 colours. So yellow from the light unit. I'm using a bit of orange wire to extend it, and it goes to the red terminal. let's just find this yellow one. Here we are. So yellow, using a bit of orange wire soldered to the red terminal. What have I used to do it? There are several wires you can get. Here is one that I've got. Let's take that out of the way now. I did pick this up from an exhibition, and I got them in about 8 different colours. Another one in grey, and I've got them all various colours. I'm not sure, I've got 10 metres worth. Well, on this project I've only used 30 or so centimetres, so there's plenty there. And it's 0.5 mil diameter, 0.5 millimetre. So, sorry, yes, 0.5 mil diameter. And it's multi-stranded. 36 strands, I think that means, when it's AWG 36, not sure. But anyway, it's there. And there's another one. I think I got them from DCC Supplies. Not absolutely sure. It could have been Coastal. I forget what the other name got, but Coastal something. Anyway, any of those DCC outlets that are at exhibitions, and you're looking for multi-stranded wire, and I'll get this one out. Got to show you. It is very, very thin. That's what you want for all of these purposes of DCC, because you've got multiple wires and you don't want them stiff. Now, another place you can get the stuff. Here we are. Scale 4 Society stores. Hook-up wire, they're calling it. 7x40. Not sure what that means. But here are, they're about the same size wire. Maybe, yeah, about the same. And you can get those in different colours. So there are places you can get it from. Now, when you solder the wires together, you want to make sure that you heat shrink it, so you don't get any short circuits anywhere, because there's metal all around. What do I use for this? I've used Hobby Holidays, and that's 1.5 millimeter heat shrink tube. Here they are, www.hobbyholidays.co.uk. And I've got quite a bit of stuff from them. They're very good. I mean, they do holidays where they get experts in, and experts teach whatever it is, soldering, wiring, whatever it is. But these experts know the best tools and the best materials for the job, and so he stocks them. So it solves a lot of problems. I got my soldering iron from him. I just reach down and get it. Yeah, it's the soldering station. German, well, not sure if it's German. What's it, Zytronic or something? Not sure where that comes from, but he stocks it and all the bits and components. And here is the soldering iron, and you've got to clean the tips regularly to get so you do it in that. He sells that as well. The solder I use is very simple. It's a Bachmann ordinary solder. Well, of course Bachmann's gone now, but just a reel of ordinary solder, and that's fine. But Hobby Holidays will have the solder as well, so that solves all those problems. The final thing is you must, when you strip the ends, you must tin them first, then you'll have no problem soldering one thing to another. To tin them, there are two types of fluxes. Everybody says don't use this, but I find it the best thing, and I use it for all my soldering because it works superbly. It's Fry Power Flow Flux, works absolutely superbly, and I found most of the other solder liquids don't work very well at all. So I don't use any other. What I do is, I stuff it into a syringe. Then all I have to do is press the syringe and the flux comes out at the bottom, and you can control it very nicely. And I use that just about for everything, and it works 100%, no problems at all. But there are, most people say don't use it. There are a lot of problems. Fine. Look up on the website about it, find out all the problems. They're all saying about you must clean it up thoroughly afterwards, etc., etc. But I use it all the time and I find it great. At least I don't get a lot of frustrations. Here is flux that you can use. I use this for all metal to metal stuff. I'll be showing you when I do all the Stenson Y25 bogies. Hobby Holidays as well, and I have found that this particular one is brilliant. First one that has really worked for me. So again, that's the right stuff. There's another one here. Don't know if it's the same one or not. Might be just a larger bottle, but it's here it is as well. So Hobby Holidays for all your stuff. So when you tin the wire, strip the wire a little bit at the end, tin it, then you can solder it directly. Lost my pointer. No, lost it for now. But you can, there's solder already there from the when the terminal was, the red wire was joined to the terminal. And incidentally, if you do want some more space to manoeuvre because you're worried about getting melting the plastic, if your soldering iron gets in the wrong place, and I must admit I did just do it there, but it was only a little bit. But in fact what I should have done is taken that screw out and that screw out there, and then the unit just lifts out and it gives you a lot more space. But we're also talking about if you take this screw out, then you can lift out this whole green section and stretch it out a bit, and it gives you a lot more space. But there is plenty of solder on each of the terminals. So all you have to do is tin the very small wire that you're using. Put a little bit of flux to help. I use flux every time I solder. It just solves a whole load of problems. And then hold the wire to the terminal and just press a little bit with the soldering iron, making sure the whole soldering iron is obviously hot enough, and it should work fine. Then what you've got to do is connect the other end to the wire that comes from the light unit, and again strip both wires, tin both wires, the ends of both wires with flux, and then the solder. And in this case I just do a straight join between the two. I don't knot them or anything, I just do a straight join. But remember before, and it will frustrate you on occasions, to feed in a little bit of the shrink tube through the wire before you solder it. Otherwise you have to unsolder it and start all over again. And anyway, you then solder it, then bring the heat shrink tube to cover the join, and I just rub the soldering iron over it, and it shrinks it nicely. And then you've got all this space here that is actually empty in there, because if you think about it, this bit of the plastic cab, control panel area, starts at about here. So this whole area is devoid of anything. So you've got all this space that you can tuck your wires in. So I haven't made them very long. You could make them longer, but you've still got the problems with all the other connections. But that worked very nicely. So I hope that helps. Been a bit of a long video, but I wanted to explain a few things. So I hope that helps you.